Let's have that super slow-mo one more time. I'm not gonna lie, that scene was fucking great. Like, it was animated great, but like the whole reason of that is literally my computer like completely, like, it just stopped. My Crunchyroll just stopped right there, and it just stopped right at that image, and I was like, this is a masterpiece. Just looking at that face is like, damn, he really did get his, like, that clone really got their shit wrecked in this episode of Shippuden. So going straight off to the Itachi Tales, and this is something that they did last time when we saw, like, more about, like, the Nine Tails attack, and I absolutely love, and I really wish that they kind of do this a little bit more sometimes, like, in the series, but it probably takes a lot of work, and I know that they've had these episodes backlogged for a very long time. One of the things I absolutely adored about this episode is when we got to see the Nine Tails attack, and it had this really, like, kind of handwritten, kind of scroll looking kind of like what animation style, and I absolutely loved that kind of stuff because they did it last time, and like, that looks really unique, that looks really cool, I really like that. It's like, hey, keep the normal series like that, but it's like, when you want to talk about kind of like flashback kind of events or something like that, like, you know, if we always want to go back in the past, then do something like that when the Nine Tails attacks, or like, go through like Naruto's like life like that. That'd be really cool, like having kind of something like that. Like, say it was like an 8-minute OVA showing like everything that was Naruto went through, kind of like that one OVA they did way back in the day. That looks really cool, but it's like, I really like that animation style. I know some people were probably going to be nitpicky about that, but it's like, I genuinely like that, and I know like a lot of people saying we've seen like the Nine Tails attack so many fucking times now, we're kind of done with it, but I thought, you know what, that was pretty goddamn fun, and I enjoyed it. And just moving on to just seeing like how much of the G's Itachi is. Even during the Nine Tails attack, he rescued his girl, he rescued her, trying to get her out, saying like, yo, let's go over here, we need to get all this stuff right now. And it's like, he's there, and he sees his father, he's there with his police force, like just staring at the Nine Tails, and they're like, we're not even gonna move. Like, we can't. That's what we've all been orders, just to protect the people out here. And you can definitely tell that they definitely do blame, like, the Uchiha for having some sort of play in this whole Nine Tails effect, saying like, okay, it was one of them, they planned it. And like, even Danzo and like the Hokage are just like putting them all to the side. It's like, but the police, we need to like go at, like, be in the center so we can actually take care of people. And it's like, no. That's not how it's gonna go from now on. You're going to go from the side of the village, and don't worry, we're going to have all these other, like, people, all these other clans keep an eye on you, keep tabs on it, because they definitely don't trust you, no one of my fucking Danzo, always having it out for the fucking Uchihas, I swear to God. And whilst this is happening, you get to see, like, Itachi finally going to, like, finally becoming a genin. He's able to, like, at the academy, he's learning, he's starting to, like, learn out some new shit, and he's just completely curb stomping it. He's exactly like how Sasuke was, but instead he didn't have that friend at the time, and he was just there, like, going around just like, yep, he's the cool guy, he knows all the jutsus. He then learning from his father, who's like the fireball, and he just did it immediately after seeing the hand signs once, and he just did the fireball jutsu, just around about the same power, and he's like, yo, my son's a fucking genius. Even like all the kids that were massive jealous of him at one point, and then they started like, oh please Itachi, help us, we swear, like that. This big old, like, you know, he was a second year, it's like, oh, you want to go with me? And Itachi just easily just knocks him on his fucking ass. And then they're like, yo, make way for Master Itachi coming through, make way. And he's like, Itachi's like, oh, for fuck's sake, please don't do this, please don't. Like, I don't want none of this shit happening. And even with that, like, all of them started having a fucking, like, go at him again. Like, even, like, when you saw him training, he was, like, just throwing shurikens. And it was nice that we finally saw Shisui, and, like, I always, like, assumed, and I guess, like, that Shisui was, like, kind of around about the same age as, like, Itachi. I thought that's, like, they were around about the same age, but clearly not. Like, he's already, like, you know, I say, like, I don't know, like, I don't think they've said yet in the Itachi, like, how far apart, like, Shisui and Itachi's age is, but there's clearly a big gap in between them. And just seeing that, like, while he was, like, practicing the whole, like, kunai trick with him, that was really cool. And then also as well, him getting into the fight with those second year people, and finding out that he's already learned the Shadow Clone Jutsu already. And it's like, you're not supposed to learn that until you graduate. You're like, what the fuck, man? Like Jesus, what is this shit? And then just finding out, it's like, yo, Itachi's a fucking genius. We're gonna have to fucking bump him up like a year. Like, he's already surpassing, like, everyone there, and he's, like, already in that second year group, even though he's a first year. He's only spent a year in that academy, and he's already curb stomped it. It's nice to see as well that we're definitely seeing a little bit more about this little girl that he kind of, like, has this little crush on him. It's like, I hope that turns into something. I really hope that was the case and all that. Although we do know that, like, Itachi never had a child and he never got together with someone. That's kind of nice to feel like he had that special someone in his life. A nice little side thing to have. Like, yeah, I know, like, I took the piss a bit out of that whole, like, punch, but I thought that was very well animated. There was all the frames. It's just, it paused at that exact point watching on Crunchyroll, and I was like, oh my god, that is fucking hilarious. Like, why are the little parts? It had to stop there. So overall, I had a blast with this episode. Itachi is a very interesting character, and I feel like that's something I wanted to know about for a while now, and I've been enjoying that. And just nice as well to see Shisui, and although the next episode looks goofy as fuck with the cat ears and stuff, I'm like, oh no, please don't tell me this is actually in the fucking books. I don't want to know like that. So I'm looking forward to next week about this, but honestly, I really enjoyed it. I think this episode was like a 7.5. I thought it was a good episode. Like, it definitely, wasn't as interesting as the first episode, but I definitely did enjoy it, and they were like, they definitely upped their game with like the whole Nine-Tailed Scroll thing. I really did like that, and also as well, Itachi just showed he was a genius from the start. He already knew what was going on, just him trying to find that answer about, kind of the meaning of life throughout this entire thing, the whole thing about being a ninja as well. It's really goddamn interesting. But that's all from me, everyone. Thank you very much for watching as always. I've been Savagezweipanda, and I'll catch you guys next time.